In this video, I will provide you with something that most people don't think about who are building outdoor stairways. And this video was actually inspired by another video I seen on YouTube. And the people were saying that they made it sound like they were professional concrete people. And again, the stairs looked fine. I just want to point out one thing. If somehow you do run across a video where you have a long concrete stairway that's running at an angle, is that most building codes require, if you have a 12-foot vertical height, a stairway that's longer than that. So let's just say it was 12 feet to right here off of the ground here. So we come up 12 feet and then over. You're going to need to have a landing. And that's to prevent people from falling all the way down the stairway. So if you have a long stairway and the people fall to a landing, let's say they fall up here, fall down to a landing, then they're hopefully going to stop and not continue rolling down the stairway. So keep that in mind. And another problem, once we take an angle, the stairway will be the fact that you could have an erosion problem. So here we have a stairway that is coming 90 degrees off of a building, and the water is going to come down the hill, come down over here, and I'm not saying it's not going to create a problem. However, the minute that we turn it to an angle and the water comes down here, we now have all of the water over here coming down. So you're going to have water coming down here and then running down the side of the stairway. What's that going to do? It's going to cause a erosion problem, and eventually you're going to have dirt that or soil, whatever is here, you're going to have it erode away from the stairs, and if it happens enough, you're not going to have anything to support your stairway. But now let's take a look at the figuring it out. How are you going to figure out a stairway at an angle? And the process is about the same. You're going to have a starting point and an ending point. And you're also going to have to keep in mind that you're going to have a longer distance that would be vertically down to the ground. And you'll see in a little bit here how I fix that. But this is going to be a problem. So all I did was I turned this stairway about 15 or 20 degrees. And you can see here where it's not going to work. We're going to have to redo the stairs. And in order to do that, we're going to need to add, we can add some more steps to it and then refigure the rise on it. But what I'm going to do here is figure out the distance between here and here, and then divide that into my treads. So I believe I had 12-inch treads, so they were 1 foot wide treads, and I had about a 22-inch distance here, and I went ahead at about a 22-inch distance here, and then I divided that into what I think I had 24 steps, and that came to 9.166. I added almost an inch to each one of the steps, and then that brought everything over, which you'll see here in a second. So here we have it. We've got a gap, and we need to bring the stairs over to here, and that would look something like this. So keep in mind again that we're going to have an erosion problem on one side of the stairway. This one over here, you can end up with water flowing over this side, coming down the stairway or onto the stairway, and then kind of working its way down. And then you could have water that is on this side actually working its way to the other side, and depending upon how the landscaping is. And here's kind of what I did. I left it to where you could see where the ground is a little higher on one side. Here you're going to have soil go onto the stairs, and I pointed this out in a few other videos. You can have soil, you can have a concrete stairway, a wooden stairway, and then you have dirt going onto it and debris, and then of course it creates a area where you could slip on the stairs, and that's not what you want to have. So here we have the stair wedges. On one side it's larger, as we said, and on the other side it's smaller. Let's go ahead and take away the soil. And to fix something like this, you're going to need to have the concrete a little deeper. You're going to need to have it a little longer on the sides. And you don't have to do it on both sides, but I would suggest doing it on both sides in case you have an erosion problem. If you're someone who's going to be maintaining this, you're going to be watching out for it. As the dirt rolls down the hill, you're going to be bringing it back up and putting it in place, or bringing more dirt in later, or putting plants in to prevent the erosion, or even some site drainage, something like that. Then you might not need to do this. But I wanted to show you that just in case you aren't going to do that. And this is a problem. On the original video that gave me the idea for this particular video here, it was in the back of a building. It looked like it was in the back of maybe an industrial building or a commercial building. And even though it looks neat now, there's a good chance in the future that it's not going to look as nice. You could actually have some settlement issues from the erosion and stuff like that. So it's kind of like build it right the first time so that you don't have to worry about those issues, or the property owner doesn't have to worry about those issues. Now, in order to fix this type of design, all you need to do is move the stairs over. So if you remember, the stairs were here at an angle going this way. All you got to do is move them over, go straight up, and you're done. You don't have to mess around with you don't have to worry about the soil erosion, the extra concrete, something like that. Simple solution to a simple problem. And again, with this stairway, I've got to point out, like I said, you're going to need a landing. You're going to need, I think the landing needs to be at least 4 foot in the direction of travel. And if you don't have that, you could end up with a building inspector coming out to your property and telling you that you're going to have to fix this. And that's not going to make the property owner happy, or the contractor, if the contractor has to pay for it. So again, simple design idea, how to fix a simple problem if you can. If the property doesn't allow you to. On this particular project, it looked like the property line was at an angle and they just followed it. I understand. You got to deal with what you got to deal with, and so be it. You're kind of deal with the lot that you have, and if you want a set of stairs going up to it. There are other ways to design the stairs. I'm not saying there isn't. You don't need to be stuck with one idea, but it seems like most of the time we end up with people that hey, my brother-in-law can put a set of stairs in there for you, and you're like, yeah, I'd like to have that. Okay, no plans, no permits. They build the set of stairs, and building inspector's driving by one day and says, what the heck is that? And then you're back to your problem, back to square one. So hope this gives you some ideas on how angled stairways would work on a sloping surface, and a couple of ideas on how you can actually fix this to build the stairs straight, make it easier on yourself, use a little less concrete sometimes, and prevent some future erosion problems in the future.